deep beneath your feet, far beyond anything humans have ever drilled, seen, or touched, something unusual is happening. Not on the surface, not in the sky, but in the hidden layers of the Earth itself. Scientists are noticing a pattern, a rhythm, and most importantly, it's getting faster. This isn't a rumor spreading on social media. This isn't a scene from a science fiction movie, and this definitely isn't clickbait speculation. What you're about to hear is based on real data, real measurements, and real scientists who have spent decades studying the planet from the inside out. For a very long time, scientists believed that Earth's deepest systems moved extremely slowly. So slowly that within a human lifetime, they appeared almost frozen in time. Changes were expected to take thousands, sometimes millions of years. That assumption shaped everything we thought we knew about the planet beneath us. But now, something has changed. Thanks to new instruments, sensors more sensitive than ever before, scientists can detect movements and signals that were once completely invisible. And when they began analyzing this new data, they noticed something surprising. Certain movements deep under the Earth weren't random. They weren't chaotic. They followed a repeating pattern, a cycle. At first, researchers thought it was noise, a glitch, a coincidence in the data. But as more measurements came in, the pattern remained. What shocked scientists the most wasn't that the pattern existed. It was always there, quietly unfolding beneath the planet's surface. What shocked them was the speed. Compared to historical records, the rhythm appeared to be accelerating. Subtle changes that once took centuries were now happening faster than expected. Not suddenly, not violently, but noticeably. Imagine listening to a ticking clock that has kept perfect time for thousands of years, and then realizing the ticking has begun to speed up. Not enough for panic, but enough to demand attention. This doesn't mean disaster, it doesn't mean collapse, and it certainly doesn't mean the Earth is about to end. But it does mean one important thing: something is happening. And that leads us to the question scientists are now asking around the world. It's not whether the Earth is changing. The real question is, why now? To understand what's happening, we have to go far below the world we see every day. Beneath Earth's crust, the thin outer skin where cities, oceans, and continents exist, lies a hidden world. A world of enormous pressure, extreme heat, and forces so powerful they shape the entire planet. This underground world isn't empty. It's made of massive layers of rock, slowly shifting under their own weight. Some layers are solid, some behave more like thick, flowing material. And all of them are constantly influenced by heat and energy from Earth's core. For a long time, scientists believed these deep layers barely moved at all, at least not in ways that mattered on human timescales. The motion was thought to be so slow that it blended into geological background noise. But the Earth was never truly still. What scientists are now seeing are repeating signals coming from deep below the surface. These signals show slight changes in movement, rotation, and energy flow. Individually, each change is tiny, almost insignificant. But when observed over time, a pattern emerges. The movements repeat. They follow a rhythm, not perfectly regular, but consistent enough to stand out from randomness. It's almost as if the planet is following a hidden internal cycle, one that we're only just beginning to notice. Think of it like a heartbeat. For thousands of years, that heartbeat was slow and steady, so steady that no one questioned it. And then, gradually, it starts beating faster, not racing, not out of control, just faster than before. This is where it's important to be very clear that this does not mean an instant disaster. There are no sudden explosions forming underground, no giant cracks opening beneath cities, and no Hollywood-style earthquakes shaking the planet overnight. Earth doesn't work that way. Instead, faster movement means changing conditions. And in science, changing conditions always matter. When deep systems shift speed, it can slightly alter stress patterns, energy distribution, and long-term balances within the planet. These changes unfold slowly over years and decades, not days or weeks. The key takeaway isn't fear, it's awareness. Because the more precisely we understand how Earth moves beneath us, the better we can understand how the planet evolves, and how deeply connected we are to forces we can't see, but can now finally measure. So if this pattern has been happening beneath the Earth all along, the obvious question is, why are scientists only talking about it now? The answer is simple. For a long time, they couldn't see it clearly enough. Earlier generations of scientific instruments were powerful for their time, but limited. They could measure large, obvious events, major earthquakes, strong magnetic shifts, dramatic surface changes. But the subtle movements happening deep inside the planet were often too quiet, too slow, and too complex to stand out. The data was incomplete. Measurements were taken years apart. Different regions used different methods. When scientists tried to connect the dots, the signals looked messy and inconsistent. In short, the pattern was there, but it looked random. That changed in recent years. Today, Earth is being monitored by an advanced global network of modern sensors. These instruments are far more sensitive than anything used before. They can detect minute changes in motion, pressure, and energy deep beneath the surface. But technology alone wasn't enough. The real breakthrough came when scientists began comparing long-term data, decades of measurements layered together. Instead of looking at isolated snapshots, they started watching the planet like a continuous movie. Then came AI-assisted pattern analysis. With artificial intelligence, scientists can process enormous amounts of data at once, far beyond human capability. AI doesn't get tired. It doesn't overlook weak signals. It can find relationships hidden deep inside noise. And that's when the moment arrived. When scientists layered decades of data together, the pattern became impossible to ignore. What once looked like randomness revealed structure. What once seemed static revealed motion. And what once appeared slow revealed acceleration. Now let's be clear about what faster actually means. It does not mean sudden upheaval. It does not mean instant geological chaos. Instead, it points to slight shifts in Earth's internal dynamics, small adjustments in how energy moves and redistributes inside the planet. Over very long periods, these shifts may have subtle effects on magnetic behavior. They may also influence tectonic stress in ways so small they take decades to become noticeable. This is not about dramatic events, it's about trends, because nature rarely changes in ways that are loud or immediate. Nature moves gradually, quietly, layer by layer, and most of the time we don't notice until the data finally becomes clear enough to tell the story. Let's be clear about one thing. This is not about panic. This is not about fear. This is about understanding the planet we live on. When people hear that something beneath the Earth is changing, the imagination often jumps to extremes. But science doesn't work in extremes. Actually, it works in balance, probability and observation. What scientists are seeing points toward minor internal adjustments, not sudden catastrophe. Small changes in deep systems are a normal part of how Earth evolves. What's different now is not the change itself, it's our ability to see it clearly. One of the most important outcomes of this discovery is better science. As patterns become clearer, scientific models improve, predictions become more accurate, and our understanding of Earth's long-term behavior grows stronger. This is where humanity has a real advantage. We are monitoring the planet better than at any point in history. Thousands of sensors operate around the globe. Satellites collect constant streams of data. Advanced systems analyze information in real time. Scientists aren't guessing, they're watching. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that means changes are detected early, studied carefully, and placed in proper context long before they become a concern. There's also something deeper to consider. The Earth isn't sending a warning. It isn't signaling danger. It's telling a story written over millions of years. A story told slowly, quietly, deep underground. And for the first time, we're learning how to listen. Understanding Earth isn't about controlling it. It's about respecting the forces that shaped us and continue to support life. So if you believe that understanding is more powerful than fear, if you believe knowledge matters more than panic, subscribe. Because the more we learn about Earth, the better we learn how to live on it today and far into the future.